Abigail Marston was born in 1877 and was an orphan. Abigail is said to have ridden with the members of the Vanderlyn gang as a prostitute, and often slept with the members of the gang.
You know, gentlemen, this man here, oh, he married a whore. Used to ride with us. We all had her, oh, but he married her.
She ultimately fell in love with John and fell pregnant with their son Jack when she was only 18, and later, their unnamed daughter. Abigail and John then sought protection for their children. In 1906, John was gravely wounded in a botched bank robbery and left to die by the other members of the gang. John made a recovery and saw it as an opportunity to leave the gang and create a better life for his family. Fleeing with Abigail and Jack, John purchased his farmland on Breacher's Hope in West Elizabeth, located in the northern Great Plains, hoping to establish a successful homestead. Unlike her husband and son, Abigail is revealed to be illiterate, as shown when John receives a telegram from Bonnie McFarland.
Oh, and now you two's in the habit of sending each other letters. How very nice.
It weren't nothing like that. What's it say?
I don't know. I can't... Well, you know I can't read.
Give it here.
You read that thing out loud?
In 1911, Abigail and Jack were abducted by Edgar Ross and the agents of the newly appointed Bureau of Investigation. John is extorted into seeking out his former comrades throughout New Austin, Nuevo Paraiso, and into West Elizabeth before their eventual release.
Oh, your wife sends her regards.
During their time in captivity, Abigail stresses how difficult it was for Jack. She also hints at a guard-made sexual advances, but with little prompting from Abigail's side, regretted that decision and no one tried it again. Upon John's return to the ranch, Abigail criticizing him for having left, afraid that he had rejoined the gang. He assures her that that life is over, and things on the ranch return to some level of normality.
I never thought I'd see this day again.
You no-good hillbilly piece of shit! I thought you was dead! I thought you was dead, John, huh? Where you been? Where you been?
You know where I've been, darling. You know.
You saw Dutch, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw him.
And Bill?
Yeah, I saw him too.
And you didn't go back to him?
I left that life. Just as you left yours. How'd they treat you?
Oh, I can take care of myself, John. One guard got funny on me one time, but I wasn't so ladylike and he didn't try it again. Nor no one else.
How's the boy?
Oh, like you. And like me. Well, he's like a kid growing up without a father.
That ain't fair.
What is fair?
Well, some trees flourish, others die. Some cattle grow strong, others are taken by wolves. Some men are born rich enough and dumb enough to enjoy their lives. Ain't nothing fair, you know that.
We tried to change. I mean, ain't that what you're supposed to do?
We did change. And it's over now. Jack! Jack, come here, boy.
Hello, sir.
Come here. How you been?
Coyotes ate all the chickens and poachers took the cattle. I tried, Father. I tried.
I know you did, son. I know.
Don't you go blaming me, boy. Don't you go blaming me.
I ain't blaming no one, old man, but since you're still alive, there's 4 mouths to feed. And no cattle.
That's a nice way to greet somebody. Why don't I get a warm and tender embrace?
Consider the fact I ain't put a bullet in your embrace, old man. You were supposed to look after the place.
I did. Well, I did my best. Thing is, there was too many of them. I thought you was dead. I wasn't drinking.
Hold your excuses until you figured out which one to use. Jack, go get your bags packed, boy. We got work to do. We leave in the morning. Go on.
Yes, sir.
Where are you going?
Well, it's getting kind of dark now, but in the morning we've got to go get ourselves some more cattle. I've got friends at McFarland's ranch. It's over in Hennigan's Stead who can sell us some. Now, Abigail, I hope you learn to cook.
Yes. Didn't I say, rather than some prison, they actually kept me incarcerated in a cooking school for young ladies.
Abigail hates the crows that attack the silo, and asks John to get rid of them once and for all.
What you cooking?
Same thing I've been cooking the past 15 years with the hope of poisoning you.
Ain't working so well.
Not yet.
To be honest, though, tastes bad enough to kill a man.
I never was much of a cook, but I did try to be a good wife.
And you have been.
Given what we was and what we came from, I think we've gone and done okay. I look at Jack, I look at him, and I think we've been blessed. Maybe he can be something more.
He's a good kid. He can be whatever he wants to be. He ain't gonna be no frontier gunslinger killing and running no gang, though. That way's over. Railroads and government and motor cars and everything gone and done away with all that.
And he ain't gonna marry no orphaned working girl running with a bunch of hucksters, neither.
If he meets one like you, I hope he'll marry her.
Stop. For an illiterate gunslinger, you sure know how to make a girl blush. God damn crows! John! You have got to go deal with them. They've broken into the silo again and are eating all the corn out from it.
Of course, my angel.
Wait, get out of there!
All right, all right.
Go on! Scat! Shh.
Later, Abigail received a telegram from Bonnie McFarland, telling them about the crops they lost from pests.
Something you ain't telling me?
Bonnie McFarland. She's a friend. Saved my life when I went after Bill and nearly got myself killed again.
Oh, now you two's in the habit of sending each other letters. How very nice.
It weren't nothing like that. What's it say?
I don't know. I can't... Well, you know I can't read.
Give it here.
You read that thing out loud?
I ain't hiding nothing. Dear Mr. Marston, stop. Need corn sacks. Stop. Emergency. Stop. Weevils and moths ate entire county supply. Stop. Can you help? Not exactly the most romantic request now, is it?
I guess not. She saved your life, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then you're gonna have to help her and her family out. We've got a plentiful supply of corn sacks over near the silo. About the one thing Uncle didn't manage to have stolen while we was gone.
Okay.
Hurry back, John. And John, what's she like?
You know. A little bit like you, I guess. She's a woman in a man's world.
John, wait! I changed my mind. I'm coming with you. Well, come on, then. Let's get going.
You came. Thank you so much. We lost the entire harvest.
Miss McFarland, I'd like you to meet my wife, Abigail.
Oh, ain't you quite the gentleman all of a sudden? It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Marston.
Likewise. Thank you for saving my husband's life. And for teaching the miserable goat some manners, among other things.
I didn't teach him anything. I know better than to try to change a man. You should meet my father.
Oh, people can change, Miss McFarland. John and I have to believe that more than anybody.
This is a decent first harvest for you, John. You should be proud. That's good land you got there.
How are you feeling, Mrs. Marston? From what your husband told me, it must have been awful for you.
I've been through worse, and I knew he'd be back before too long. He can't cook a meal to save his life.
Abigail, in my darkest hours, when I was most homesick, just the thought of one of your rat meat stews kept me pushing forward.
Well, about as amusing as a weeping saddle sore, ain't he, Miss McFarland? If you're gonna start yammering about women's work, John, I'd say you might be in the wrong company.
I'd say so, too.
I never felt so outnumbered.
Some days later after the reunion, the ranch is assaulted by Edgar Ross and a large contingent of the U.S. Army soldiers and lawmen. Uncle is killed in the initial assault, with Abigail and Jack fleeing to the barn alongside John. John lies, saying he will catch up. Accepting the realities of John's imminent sacrifice, Abigail and John declare their love and kiss before John sends the horse at the back door of the barn.
Hey, come on. Now listen, Jack, darling, get on this horse. Get out of here. Go find a place to hide.
You're coming with us, Paul.
I'll catch up. You keep riding and don't look back. And don't be worried about me, you hear? Now get going.
You stay out of trouble, John.
Ain't no trouble, Abigail. Ain't no trouble. I love you.
I love you.
Now go! Get!
John returns to the approaching lawman and is shot and killed in a showdown. Hearing the gunshots cease, Abigail demands that Jack return to the ranch. There, they find John's bloodied body. Abigail is seen mourning the loss of her husband, clinging to Jack for support.
Did you hear that? Jack, we have to go back for Pa.
Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie.
In 1914, Abigail Marston has died at the age of 37 from unknown causes, and Jack buries her on the ranch next to John and Uncle. In the events of Undead Nightmare, John is in his house with Abigail and Jack. They are all talking about general things, like a book Jack is reading. However, they mention that Uncle hasn't returned from what he was doing yet. Abigail states that because of the storm, Uncle has probably taken shelter in a dry place nearby, and will stay there until the storm subsides.
Oh, damn.
Mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say, damn this awful son I've raised with his highfalutin ways, and his shame that his mother swears like a sailor and sews like a blind man. Is that better, your lordship?
Much better, Mother dearest.
Oh, good. I'm so glad, my darling. When you've finished your university education and are far too good to even acknowledge my existence when we pass on the street, and you gently kick me aside and beg an old crow out of the way with your highly polished boot. Well, think of me kindly, at least, will you, my son?
I'll try to, Mother. I'll think, that woman I just kicked, that used to be my dear old potty-mouthed mom. Maybe I should bother to kick her harder.
Dear boy. Oh, I am so proud of you. Get off. Yeah, Father's here. Maybe he can beat some sense into you.
Something funny's going on out there. Damn dogs gone crazy, and wolves howling, and birds flying.
Well, it's just the storm, John.
Maybe. Uncle make it back yet?
I thought he was with you, off drinking in the fields. I mean, working, as you call it now.
He went into town a few hours ago after we busted that hammer working out in the meadow.
Well, he's probably holed up in some place of ill repute waiting for the passing of the storm.
I hope so.
Well, that old man could take care of himself.
I know. Just a funny feeling I got.
You gone psychic, Paul?
Either that or I ate something funny. Knowing your mother's cooking seems more than likely.
Well, talking about food, who's ready for some poisoning?
Me, my darling. I am starving.
Later, when John and Abigail are in bed, an undead uncle tries to attack them, and John beats him back with a lamp. Abigail shows disgust at the bloody body and turns away sickened.
You okay, old man? You don't look so good.
John!
What What is going on? What the hell is wrong with you, crazy old bastard?
Where you going? Where you going?
To get my gun. God damn it.
John runs to get his gun from the barn, but when he comes back, Uncle has attacked Abigail and is biting her in the neck.
Uncle! You dumb son of a bitch! Stop!
John shoots Uncle in the head and tends to Abigail.
I can't believe I had to kill that poor bastard. Well... You okay, darling? You okay?
Oh.
Abigail. Abigail.
I don't feel so great.
Jack! Get out here!
At John's call, Jack comes outside and sees Uncle's corpse, but is preoccupied with his mother's state. He runs to help his mother despite John's warning, however Abigail turns into a zombie and bites Jack.
Oh, Mama!
Stay right there, the pair of them.
John runs to fetch his lasso from the barn and then hogties both of them, and after giving them both a plate of food, he leaves them in the house and sets out to find a cure.
Now stay there while I deal with your half-witted son. What is going on here? Maybe this will remind you how to behave. Now, I don't know what the hell's gotten into you sick, crazy bastards or what else was done to you, but I'm going to get help. Stay calm. As calm as you can, seeing as both of you seem to have gotten a little excited. Probably just a fever. Jack, be kind to your mother. Abigail, teach the boy right from wrong. Both of you. Stop biting chunks out of people. Be back as soon as I can.
This is everything we know about the character of Abigail Marston in Red Dead Redemption. Come back later to find out her story in Red Dead Redemption 2. Thank you for watching.
Just in glorious sight. It's so far away. It's so